Hello. How are you? I'm Average Zen, your host of Average Zen
And AverageKid
Presents. Yeah, and we are back with another episode of Explain It Like I'm 7 Magic the Gathering Arena Tutorials.
Well, we just passed the first tutorial.
Yeah,
Real quick.
Yeah, we graduated from the first series, and now we're moving on up to some more intricate and challenging things. I think we're ready. What do you think?
Yep.
All right. Well, then let's before we get started, please give us a like, a subscribe, all that good stuff. We're on 2 different channels now. You have your own channel, and I have my channel, and we're posting this series up to both channels. So yeah, AverageKid Presents.
And you'll be doing more games after we finish Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna be expanding. You've been playing a lot of Fortnite recently, and there's other games that we can stream.
Like Teardown.
Oh yeah, you've been in love with Teardown for years, even though you've never played it. I'm excited when you finally get to play. I think it's gonna be cool. But today, we're diving in to something called the Arena Color Challenge. And that means we're going to learn all about the different colors and what they're good at and what they're bad at. And
what they do.
Yeah. And so we're going to see a lot more cards and a lot more stuff than we've seen so far. And so, and at the end of each color challenge, we get to challenge an actual other person online. Yeah, so we could win, we could lose, we could draw, but we're going to learn, and that's the most important part, because practice makes what?
Perfect.
That's right, practice makes perfect. And even though we'll never be perfect, we keep practicing, because one day, you might be number 1, but you won't know unless you try.
Because if you don't try, how will you know?
That's right.
You've never done it.
All right, so let's jump in and take a look at how we get to our next lessons. So before, we were having to go up here to the Codex of the Multiverse to replay the tutorial. But this next set of challenges is actually under events. So we go hit the play button and go to events. And you see right up there at the top right, maybe it's not always there at the top right, but we'll find this color challenge. And that's where we get to learn all about all the different colors on Magic the Gathering. See, we have white, blue, black, red, green.
Black is the best one.
You think black is the best?
Because it almost killed us last round.
Yeah,
for the dragon.
There is, so you've already got a favorite. Well, but we're going to start here at the top and we'll work our way down. And you can see all these check marks means that I have already completed all these challenges, but we can do them again because you haven't done them. And it'll be good. And if you're a first-time player, this is highly recommended to do because you get rewarded with these decks.
It's their inspiring commander again.
That's the guy. You know him already. He's a good card. And so for each, if this is your first time playing and you go through these color challenges, you'll get all these cards in each of these decks to add to your collection. So that's cool. So this is the first time that we've been able to go into our deck and see what cards are there. Now, later on in this series, we'll be building our own decks, but this particular one, since the game made it for us, it won't let us change anything, but we can see, and this is important, we want to see what cards are in our deck, because then we know how they work together. Think of it like a puzzle, okay? When you're building your deck, you get to pick what cards go in it, okay? But they all fit together. They need to do something together that helps your deck win, okay? It can't just be all crazy random and just, grabbing whatever looks good. Sometimes maybe that'll work, but in my unexpert opinion, the decks work better when you have an idea that all the cards can work around, that all of them can build to something you want to do. Like when you're building your Legos, you have a set and you're following the instructions to build something at the end, right? But each little piece
creates a bigger piece.
Exactly. So think of these cards as pieces in our Lego set, our construction set. In fact, do you know what they call this kind of Magic the Gathering? They call it constructed. Okay, this is a format that's called constructed, and that means we build the decks ourselves ahead of time and we play them. There's other kinds of games you can play on Magic Arena that are called limited, and that means that you are limited to the cards that you get right then and there when you open your packs. But we'll get into that later. So yeah, let's take a look at some of these cards. Let's start with the 1 cost. You see how they have this separated? If you go from left to right, they cost more. Okay, that's how Arena does it. And then we have all of our lands on the very right-hand side.
And they cost nothing.
That's right. They're what we use to pay for the costs of different spells. So let's start over here on the 1 drops.
Which is tactical advantage.
We know that card. That helps us out in combat.
We don't know this one.
That is a new one, yeah. Okay, so this has got a new ability that we haven't seen before.
It's lifelink.
Lifelink, yeah. What does it say about lifelink at the top right there?
Delete by creature.
Oh, hold on. Don't move. Damage dealt. There you
A
go.
creature, planeswalker, or spell with lifelink also causes its controller to gain that much life.
That's right. So how much damage would this charmed stray cat do?
1
Okay, so if it deals damage, then we gain 1 life.
of that same damage.
But what does it say underneath lifelink? What is this cat's other ability?
There's something particular about the cats today.
Oh yeah? Well, what is particular about this cat? What does that second ability say? What do the words say under lifelink?
There's something particular about the cats today. What's that other one? Right after the cats today? Janica, 10 Street Thinker.
Oh, I see. You're reading the... You see how that's in italics?
Huh?
Okay, I was wondering what you were reading. But yeah, you were looking at... That's the flavor text. That's the story. Since this card has an ability on it, they included the story, the flavor text, the italics over here to the right. They're not even on the card because they don't want it to take up too much room. So, but I'm talking about, what does it say right, not under lifelink up here? What does it say on the card itself under lifelink?
When charmed stray enters, put a 1/1 controller on each other creature.
Oh, see.
You control named charmed stray.
Okay, close. You put a +1/+1 counter. Okay, so think of a counter like you're tracking the number of times that something gets something. Okay, so a +1/+1 counter means that if it has one of those counters on it, and think of it like just a number, okay? It's just a number of times. Like you're learning your multiplication tables, your times in school. Okay, so if you add 1 times 1, what do you get?
1.
Okay, so 1 counter is like 1 time, okay, of a +1/+1 counter. And what does that do? Well, a +1/+1 counter will stay on this creature as long as it's alive, and it increases its attack and defense, its power and its toughness. Okay, so if we have, what this is saying is, if we have one charm stray already on the battlefield, and we play another one, because you can see, look here, what is this? That says ×4. Yeah, that means we have 4 of those cards. Yeah,
4 of the tactical advantages.
that's right. So this is telling us how many of those cards we have in this deck. And that means, since we have more than one, we could play more than one. And if we get another one on the battlefield, then we get to put a +1/+1 counter on it. And since it has lifelink, if it gets more attack power and it deals damage, then we gain more life. All right, so we know what tactical advantage is. Let's look at these other new cards we have here. That's another new ability.
It has double strike.
Double
kind of
strike.
Like this one.
That's also, yes, they both have double strike. In fact, that one says, whenever goring ceratops. What type of creature is that?
Dinosaur.
That's right, it's a dinosaur. Did you have, they have dinosaurs on this game?
Yes.
It says, whenever goring ceratops attacks, other creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn.
It wouldn't be much use on this card because it already
has it.
strike.
Yeah, so it doesn't get quadruple strike. It just gets double strike. But not everything has double strike. Like what? Let's look back at that charmed cat. Okay, so if we attack with that goring ceratops,
it will get double strike.
Yeah, and
Let's see what double strike does.
Oh, yes. Okay.
This creature deals both first strike and regular combat. Does not apply when creatures fight.
Okay, so what that means is, what do you think first strike means? Because we haven't seen first strike before either.
Like when you hit someone the first time, you can hit them again. I think that's what double strike
That's what
means.
double strike means. But first strike, what does first mean?
You only get to hit them once.
No, what does the word first mean? If you're first,
You can hit them first.
that's right. That's what first strike is. So normally, when a creature is blocked or is blocking, okay, the creatures, they deal the damage to each other at the same time. Okay, that's called regular combat damage. That's what that means when it says regular combat damage. That's how things are normally. But if a creature has first strike or double strike, then they get to attack and deal their damage first, and then if the other creature is still alive, then it deals damage. But if a creature has double strike,
it can hit them 2 times.
That's right, it deals damage first, and then it deals its damage again.
And if that creature isn't still alive, I don't know how it couldn't be.
Yeah, so this goring ceratops,
It's a 3/3.
It's a 3/3, but even though it only has 3 power,
You can hit him 2 times and then you get him 6.
That's right,
Power.
because 3 times 2 is 6. That's right.
Or 3 plus 3 is 6.
Now what about this? What about this guy over here, the Leonin War Leader? That's a cat soldier. Now look here. Oh, he's got a crazy ability too. But let's think about this. He's a 4/4. If he got double strike, that would be 4 times 2, which means...
But 4 plus 4 is 8.
That's
So
right.
he'll do 8 damage.
That's right.
And this one also has lifelink.
Well, no.
Tokens.
No, yes, he makes he makes a creature token, which we learned about recently. So what does his ability say?
Creature, cat, soldier, whenever
Leonin. Leo is like a lion. Leo the lion. That's in astrology.
Leo in War Leader
There you go.
attacks creature to
Create
2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink that are tapped and attacking.
That's pretty good. So if we played that and attacked on the same turn that we had that goring ceratops and attacking, you know what would happen?
You deal
This guy,
8 damage.
not only would he deal 8 damage, he would also create 2 1/1 cat creature tokens with lifelink that are tapped and attacking.
Now give him
And
10 damage.
they would have double strike. So that's 2 times 2. Okay, so that's 4 damage right there just from the tokens. And then 4 times 2 is 8. So that's what, 12 damage? Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any creature that could possibly survive that.
I mean, that's over half of your starting life total. You start out with 20 life. So see what we're talking about now, about how these different pieces fit together and they make everything work better in your
You could really get someone down before they even get to attack.
Okay, now let's look at some other cards. Let's look at this card over here, the one that says the enchantment, the aura. Now, we played enchantments.
Enchanted creature cannot attack or block.
Yeah. So we've played enchantments and auras before that we've put on our own creatures.
But this time you can put them on the other people's
That's
creatures.
right.
Kind of like when we were finding that elf that lives in the water. He enchanted us with something that kept us from attacking.
That's right.
So this is the same thing.
That's right.
But
So
it's on land.
So let's look at a couple other cards, and I think we'll see. Look here. This is a guy that we can. No, this is the first time we've seen something like this. This
First strike. See.
That's
we were
right.
talking about first strike.
All right, but this guy, he doesn't just get first strike all the time. This is something.
Until end of turn.
That's right. But you see those mana symbols down there? Normally we only see those at the top right-hand corner of the card that tells us how much the card costs to play, to
It
cast.
makes no sense. It's a 2 colorless mana and 1 white mana on the bottom, but it's a 1 colorless mana and 1 white mana on the top. So it has to be telling something about a different card or a token, maybe.
Well, this is what you call an activated ability, okay? So this card, we would cast it for 1 colorless and 1 white mana, and it would come out on the battlefield, and it would be a 2/2, which is okay. A 2/2 for 2 mana is not bad.
I get why it's a 2 on the power because he has 2 axes.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would be cool if he had double strike with his axes. He can
Then you'll need 4 axes.
No, but this ability, this card has what we call an activated ability. You're going to see this, and so remember this. Do you know what that, let's right click on him real fast. Let's see if we can do that. No, it won't let us. Okay, so you see it says 2 colorless and 1 white mana, and then it has those little 2 dots, one on top of the other. Have you ever seen those 2 dots before?
We used it at first grade when we would do rhyming words with our new sight words.
Those dots, those are called a colon. Okay? And whenever you see this, whenever you see a colon on the card where the ability should be, then you know it's an activated ability. And that means, what that means is every single, don't go anywhere, go back. Every single time you see that colon, to the left of it, that is a cost. Okay? Sometimes it'll say mana symbols. Sometimes it might say something like pay 2 life. Sometimes it might say sacrifice a creature.
Kind of like sometimes when that Nicolas
Yeah. So every time you see that colon, all you need to know is the left side of that colon.
is the activate.
That's the cost. And the right side
Is the activate.
is the ability. That's what you get for the cost. So what do you think this is? If you know that, what do you think this is telling us?
On the left, it's telling us the cost of something. On the right, it's the ability. Is more land.
Moreland. That's the name of the card. Moreland Inquisitor.
Inquisitor gains first strike into end of turn.
So that's right. So what happens is, you remember those instant spells? Those spells that we
can cast them at any time.
That's right. Well, this ability, we can use it at any time.
And when the guy blocks, the guy gets to damage him one time before he damages him.
But only if we pay the cost. Okay, so we have to have 3 total mana available, 1 white and 2 colorless. And then, at any time, we could use that ability to give him first strike. So that's a new thing to know, and that's important. Okay, colon. What is it to the left?
Cost.
And what does it? And when you pay the cost, you get what's to the right. Okay.
The power.
Okay. So, but remember, it's gonna change depending on the card. But what will always stay the same is that colon. It'll always have the cost to the left, and it'll always have the ability to the right. Okay. Let's look at one more card, and this is a pretty famous one. Can you see that card up there? It says Hallowed Priest. Looks kind of like Halloween. Okay, and this is going to show us, you see how all these cards that we have that say something about lifelink or gaining life? You see that says whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Hallowed Priest. So every time we gain life, this guy's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Unless we die.
Until he dies, yeah. And that tells you something that white, the color white in Magic the Gathering, is really good at. Can you guess what that is?
Fighting.
Kind of, but...
Blocking.
What?
Blocking.
Blocking? Well, first strike. They do have a lot of first strike. So yes, that in this deck, and double strike, you would think that white would be the best at fighting. But what it's really the best at is gaining life and protecting. Okay?
I get it, because white is like the color of angels.
That's right. Okay, so we get like protection. In fact, there's a lot of angels in this game.
Like the angel guardians.
Yeah. And like we have this spirit guardian here. We've played this one before. This has gained 4 life. And look there, we have a Sarah angel, just like you were talking about. We know this card. We played with him last time, right? This is how we beat Nicobolus.
With that sailing.
And then we have Angelic Reward, which gives our creatures flying and +3/+3. Yeah, and we make flying spirits. So white is all about gaining life and about protection and about like righteous wrath. Okay? And so like pacifism. You know, that card over there, the enchantment, you know, that is kind of like us protecting our stuff by making one of our creatures unable to block or attack. And we have another angel, the Angel of Vitality. This one, that's got what we call a static ability, okay? Because there's no cost. It's always going on, okay? And it says, if you would gain life, you gain that much life +1 instead.
This creature gets +2/+2 as long as you have 25 or more life.
So yeah,
So we gotta stay.
so the more life we get, the bigger our stuff gets.
So I guess we hit back.
Yeah, I think we know all we need to know about this deck to get started. So let's start over here on the left, and this is the first challenge, a Johnny Goldmane versus Red, and that's Chandra, the Pyromancer. She likes fire. Yep, let's go. It says Red often uses small creatures that have haste and can attack quickly to overwhelm you. All right, Chandra Nalar is our first opponent. All right.
We got play a win.
Oh, yep. Oh, and they've got... let's see what that does. We want to know what our opponent's doing.
Right click for more information. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And it creates a token.
Whenever it... what?
Gets played.
No, what does that say? Read the card. Read the card.
10 Street
cadet.
Cadet becomes blocked, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token.
So anytime we block that guy, he's going to make a token. But he's only got 1 power and 1 defense, so he'll probably die if we block, but he'll make another goblin.
Let's play our land.
Yep, and we can't do anything.
And he played 2 lands.
Oh, he's got another one. All right, now we have decisions now because we have 2 lands and we have 4 creatures that we can
play this.
You want to play that one?
Yeah, because that...
Well, let's look at our other guys. Let's look at our choices. What does that one say?
Human Claylix, kind of like that.
Let's right-click on it so everybody can see.
Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life.
And
that'll be good.
And what's his power and toughness?
2/2.
That's right. And what's the power and toughness of those 10th Street cadets?
1 block, so we could kill them.
Yeah, and I think this is when you want to consider what's the best order to play these cards. Since we can only play one of them first, I think it's that one. Because you know why?
This one?
That ability. What is that ability? What do you think that ability is going to do for us?
Gain us 1 life, then we'll be at 20. And if we can find more life...
Well, let's read the card, because that won't gain us life right away. It says, whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. So that means we want him on the battlefield first, and that way, whenever we play another creature...
We want to play this so we can play him.
And now let's look back at these other 2 Hallowed Priests. So what's going to happen if we play that Orator, that first guy first, and then next turn we play one of these? Let's think about that.
We'll get 1 life, and you'll put a 1/1 counter on Halloween Priest.
Exactly. So
we want to play land.
Yeah.
And then play this.
That's right. And this is what you call sequencing. Do you know what a sequence is?
No.
That's the steps you take.
Ooh, we got another land.
All right. So now...
Do we want to hit next?
Well, I think if we attack, that they'll block with both of their guys, and they'll probably kill our guy, and that would defeat the point of playing him.
So we should play this?
Yeah. I think since we're not attacking, we don't plan on attacking, it's okay to play the land. If we were attacking, maybe we would wait.
Okay.
Now look at there. We triggered it. And so our guy got bigger, and we gained a life. All right, let's play our land, and that's all we can do.
I just used these 2 to play this guy.
Yeah, but we don't miss land drops. Not if we can help it.
So yeah, let's hit all.
You think?
I feel like we should. Just it.
That was a bad idea, in my opinion. But you did it. There's no taking it back now.
At least we still have that 2/2 guy.
That is true, but now we don't have another way to gain life. So now, luckily we drew another one. So.
You want to play this?
Oh yes, you want to play that one first. And now we have a very good reason to play another land here. You want to know why?
Why?
Because we'll gain more life if we play another creature, and that'll make our guy bigger.
I won't play this guy.
Well, let's think about that. Which one do you think is the better play right now? Because we don't have enough mana to give that guy first strike.
Talk about that. I feel like this one.
And so not only will we gain another life, now both of them get bigger, and one of them can attack this turn. It doesn't matter; they're both the same. Remember, it's just letting you know which you can. Remember, we said we can order the triggers which way we want, but if they're both the same, it doesn't matter. All right, so now we have a 3/3, and what's their creature's power and toughness? That's got a
3 and a 2.
A 2. Yeah, and that's got a whole bunch of flavor text on there, a whole bunch of story.
We could kill that. Well, we could kill it.
If they block, I think we do kill them. Yes.
Because they'll have 3 toughness, and we have 3 toughness, and we also have 3 power. So
that's right. Full send.
One attacker.
They didn't block. They didn't want their guy to die. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Uh-oh, they've got raid bombardment. We didn't even read that card. Let's right-click on that card. What just happened? No, the one... there you go.
It's enchantment.
Uh-huh, so what does it do for our opponent?
Well, whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less raids...
Attacks.
Less attacks. Raid bomb.
Bard. Mint.
Deals one damage to the player.
Or Planeswalker. That creature is attacking. Okay, so what that means is every time they attack with something that's got 2 power or less, they're going to deal 1 damage to us because we don't have any Planeswalkers and we don't know what a Planeswalker is yet.
We honestly just want to block with one guy. We
Well,
want to keep this guy alive still. You
think
definitely
about,
want to keep this guy alive.
do we need to block? What's our life total?
No blocks.
Yeah, we're not even close to dying. Life.
Hey.
There's our inspiring commander. We know that guy. Oh, but check this out. Check this out. If we play a land here, not right now. Well, yeah, maybe we want to actually. Yeah. Let's go ahead and play our land and play your Moreland Inquisitor. And now look here. Because he costs 2 and we have 3 mana left over and we can't play anything else, now we can give him first strike if we wanted to in the middle of combat, but he can't attack this turn because he's got, what does he have? What's it called again? When they can't attack when they first come out? Summoning
Sickness.
And if you look here, look, go back on the card and right click. Yeah, you see it says entered the battlefield this turn. That's letting you know that it can't do anything unless it had. But this ability, you see how it's blue around it? That's telling us that we could use that ability right now if we wanted to. It won't do us any good. But even though he has summoning sickness, if an ability has that cost, colon, and an ability, we can do it at any time, even when the creature first comes out there.
Can stop at combat?
No, we don't need to do that because we're going to attack. The only time you would want to do a stop, it's complicated. We'll get into that later, okay?
It's letting us play this before we attack.
Yeah, so you see, even now, while we're in the middle of combat, we could use that ability. But again, it won't do us any good right now. You could do it, though, just so it'll stop asking, because then we won't have the mana to cast.
How do I do it?
Click on the card and activate ability. See what it says? That's why they call it an activated ability. Now, we may regret that. What if they play something with haste this turn? Like that, but we couldn't block that anyway. That's a flyer. That's another volcanic.
We saw this before.
That's right.
Yes, we have 10 more life than him.
Oh, well.
Do we want to block?
Well,
We're pretty far from dying.
well,
so
let's think about this. Do they have any mana untapped?
no.
So that means they can't cast anything on our turn.
Yeah, so should we hit no blocks?
I think if you hit no blocks and we swing again after playing that inspiring commander next turn, I think we win.
We're still pretty far from dying.
Stop moving the chair around. You're moving yourself out of the microphone range. All right. Oh, and look, we got another creature we could play.
One of these.
Yeah, I don't think it matters which one. We just want to play any creature, and
I'm
we'll
gonna play our expiring commander.
well, we can't play him unless we have another land, right? How many does he cost?
6.
That's right. So we got to play our land, yeah.
Unless we want to play this. I'm just gonna play this. So we already have one of those on the battlefield. I think having 2 would be overpowered.
All right, that's a lot of damage. Full send.
4 attackers.
Nice. -5. Goodbye, Chandra.
Victory.
Victory. Yeah, good job, man. Good job. Even though we made a mistake, we can still win. That's right. But sometimes little mistakes can cost you the game. All right.
And now we can play against the real player.
Well, we're not there yet. We're going to work our way up until we get there, okay? So that's our first match in the color challenge. And we're going to, on the next episode, we'll be up against, who are we going to be up against next time? White versus black. That's Liliana.
Black, I think, is the most powerful at fighting.
Well, we'll find out what white can do against black on Magic the Gathering next time on Explain It Like I'm 7 Arena Tutorials. Did you have fun?
Yep.
Excellent, excellent. Is this a little bit more fun than the tutorial with Sparky?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sparky was a little inspiring.
A little inspiring, but mostly she was trying to bring us down a lot. She was like, "You can't do that," and we're like, "Yeah, we can. We'll be fine."
Yeah, like when we fought Nicol Boris, she's like, "What? That's an insane idea. You can't fight it."
Well, all right. We'll find out how tough Liliana will be next time. And so in the meantime, as always,
love one another.
Love one another.
Be cool.
Be cool.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a
and
jerk.
Have fun
Playing Magic the Gathering.
Bye.
Bye.